think the interesting thing about the film is that it presents two moral structures, and so it isn't just as black and white as good versus evil. It's which morality do you subscribe to, and which, there are three-dimensional problems on either side. And so that there's many layers of ethical and personal quandaries that you come up against that makes it less easy to walk away being clear about, I hate that man.
Yeah, I think the grey moral areas are sort of exacerbated by the metaphor of, Starfleet being a superpower, being a force for the greater good, and what Harrison brings into the world is the alternate argument of the underdog and what he's fighting for. So, like a lot of modern day parallels, while the means may be abhorrent and disgusting in their violence and destruction, often the cause or the impetus is a noble one.
You think your world is safe. It is an illusion. A comforting lie told to protect you. Enjoy these final moments of peace. For I have returned to have my vengeance.
I play Dr. Carol Marcus, who, as you know, was in the original series and in Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. And she, in that, obviously has Kirk's full-grown son. But that isn't necessarily the case here. I hope I'm not old enough.
You're too young. You're too young. It's just not,
Nearly.
No, not full-grown, though. That
not
would be
full-grown.
Weird.
So she's obviously highly qualified, highly intelligent. She's a weapons expert. And, it's my version of her as much, and JJ's version. And because JJ split the universe in 2009 and, allowed for any eventuality to sort of happen in this new incarnation, there was an element of artistic license that we were all given in our interpretations, as well as the story's reincarnation.
John Harrison is a terrorist. He's somebody he's a homegrown terrorist. He's a one-man weapon of mass destruction. He's incredibly adept at close-hand combat and weaponry, as well as psychological warfare. So whenever he's in a tight spot, it's never really as in
incredibly
other people's
intelligent
control as people would presume. Yeah, he's very smart, very quick, very physical. He's a warrior and
dangerous.
Pretty dangerous.
Are we going to like him?
Hopefully at some point you will. No, seriously, because he's not two-dimensional. He's not a cookie-cutter villain. There is a sort of... There's a great deal of soul to him, in fact, and there's a really strong reason behind why he does leave a trail of destruction and devastation behind him in the way he does. It was an awful lot of fun because JJ allowed me to, really get my teeth into stuff that required a bit of acting chops, as well as running around and being a boy and doing all those stunts and fantastic fight scenes. And I love that. I love the spectacle of this film and the level of live action in it as well. It's not all about CGI and green screen, and an awful lot of it was stuff done on the day.
Yeah, in a real location. He's one of the few directors, JJ, who is first of all capable financially, but also does build his sets out. So when we did get on the lot, we were able to walk through the Enterprise and the Med Bay, and it's all interconnected, and it was a real web that you could, actually walk around rather than imagine, as you say, on a green screen.
It was huge. It was huge. It was that amazing moment of stepping on set and seeing the bridge for the first time. You walk through the screen behind which there is green screen, because that is space. You can't really replicate that in a studio, although some of them are quite big. And you walk onto the bridge, and then you're walking around a ship. I mean, there were just corridor and corridor after corridor after corridor. I think it's wonderful that people are getting excited about it and speculating, and all power and excitement to them, because there's very little, I think, in this world that's left to the imagination or has any kind of mystique or carries any sort of anticipation that isn't kind of blown away by trailers and spoilers. So it's very nice to be part of a project that respects their audience in that sense and says, well, we're going to give you a bit and just wait and see.
What's the next franchise then?
Star Wars, obviously. No, I'm joking. Well, of course, Star Wars, Bond, Spider-Man.
So, shall we begin?